Hello all, good evening. Hello all, good evening. All right. So today we are going to discuss a very important topic related to unit number 2, that is nutrition and dietetics. Okay. I'm once again giving you a glance about the syllabus of UGC NET. There are total 10 units in your home science syllabus UGC NET. And out of the 10 units, 5 units are very important because most of the questions are asked from these 5 units only. And out of those 5 units, maximum number of questions are usually asked from nutrition or textiles. Okay. On a regular basis, if you see, a minimum of 10 to 13 questions will come from these units. Okay. So today, what we are going to do is in unit number 2, which is nutrition and dietetics, we are going to discuss a very important topic called as RDA. What is RDA? RDA is recommended dietary allowances. Okay. What is this recommended dietary allowances, or otherwise you can call RDA? Basically, every human has a certain amount of nutrient requirement. I guess all of you know that all of us need certain amount of nutrients. Let it be micronutrients or macronutrients. We need a certain amount to live a healthy life, right? So level of daily nutrient intake, which is necessary, which is adequate to meet your nutritional requirements of that particular day, is called as RDA. Okay. This RDA will change depending upon the category to whom we are defining the nutrient requirement. Like for small children, obviously the amount of nutrients required will be a bit less compared to an adult person. For a growing, maybe an adolescent guy or a girl, the nutrient requirements will be quite higher, right? So like this, for different age categories and different life stages, and even for different genders, like in general, if you see, males will have higher nutrient requirement compared to females. Okay, in a few nutrients, not always. For example, if you take nutrient like iron requirement is higher for women compared to men. So depending upon what category we are speaking about, the nutrient requirements will definitely change. Okay, so now let us see this one very important point related to your recommended dietary allowances. So this RDA value, when you study, this actually you have to study. RDA 2020 is one of the most important things for your exam. Every year, definitely one or even two questions will come from this particular topic. But the thing is, if you just memorize the RDAs as a box, like just as values and boxes, it will be very difficult for you to answer in the exam. So you have to understand the basic details about RDA, and depending on the basic details, like whatever you understand, you have to study the values which are given in your tables. Okay, shall we go into the actual study part? I hope I'm audible. Santa ma'am, am I audible? Can anyone tell me please if I'm audible? All right. So the nutrient requirement which is required for a healthy person, all that is fine. But we cannot tell that this particular nutrient requirement is enough for all the people. Like for 100% of the people, we cannot say that it is necessary, or you cannot say it will be adequate. Only 97 to 98% of the people requirements will be met. That is, if you take 100 people, okay. For all those 100 people, if they consume the same RDA level of nutrients also, some 2 to 3 people will still have deficiency, okay, because of variability, because of the requirements may be higher. Okay, so this 97 to 98, this value is very important. This itself can come in your exam. This has not been asked till now, but it can come in your exam. Now, another very important thing, RDA does not apply to a diseased person. If a person has some kind of a disease already, then for them this RDA is not at all, important. You cannot say important, but you cannot define their nutrient requirements. It will be very individualistic. RDA it's like for a population, for a whole population, RDA is calculated. But in terms of this person, a diseased person, we may have to do this activity separately, calculating the nutrient requirements. And to calculate this RDA, we can use a formula called as RDA is equal to EAR plus 2SD. Now you may get a question, right? Like, what is EAR? RDA understood, like 97 to 98% healthy individuals. For them, the nutrient requirement is called as RDA. Like that, you will understand. But when it comes to EAR, same thing, same concept. But if it is only important or it is only adequate for 50% of the population, like I'll give you an example, okay? Let us take for iron. Iron for adult female, if you take, the nutrient requirement is 29. Just for an example, I'm saying, okay? So if it is 29, it means that if you take 100 adult women, like randomly, if you take 100 adult Indian women, for them, 97 to 98% of the women will be able to achieve their nutrient requirements if they have the 29 mg per day, okay, 29 micrograms per day, sorry, milligrams per day. Whereas, if EAR of iron is given as, say, 18 milligrams, if this 100 women, if they consume only 18 milligrams of iron in a day, this will mean that only 50 women will have met their nutrient requirements. Remaining 50% of the women may not have met their nutrient requirements. Okay, so that is the difference between RDA and EAR. Basically, these are called as dietary reference index, DRI. Under that, many things are there. RDA is there, EAR is there, UL is there. Like this, multiple things are there. These things we will study in detail in our classes. Okay, in our morning classes, we will study in detail. Today, I'm introducing a very small concept to you called as RDA, because from exam point of view, RDA is the most important one. Okay, RDA can be calculated in two ways. One is you can do EAR plus 2SD. SD is nothing but standard deviation. Standard deviation is also a topic which will be covered under your biostats part. In your home science syllabus, research is not included at a separate unit, but it is one topic is included under each heading. Like if you take food science, there will be the last part in research will be there. In nutrition also, the last heading is again research methodology related. So like that, different units, they have added small part of your research, leading to not a separate unit per se, but then you get at least 8 to 10 questions from research, basically biostats. Okay. Now, this RDA can also be calculated as 1.2 into EAR, provided that the CV value is 10%. This coefficient of variation, standard deviation, all these things we will study under the biostats part. So if you don't understand it now, it's chill only. No problem. We will teach it anyway otherwise. Okay. So the main points that you have to remember here, RDA is essentially is adequate only for 97 to 98% of the population. It is not adequate for 2 to 3% of the population. It does not apply to diseased people. Plus, RDA can be calculated using two formulas. One is RDA is equal to EAR plus 2SD. RDA or otherwise RDA is equal to 1.2 into EAR. Okay, clear? Is this thing clear? This formula itself could be asked to you in exam. I hope it's clear. Very crisp things, if you study it is enough, okay? You don't have to go too much in depth and all. I'm once again saying RDSA related, you get only number-based questions. Like they'll ask you, what is the RDA of iron for a pregnant woman? What is the RDA of, calcium for a lactating woman? Like that only you will get questions. But if you study the numbers without understanding what exactly you are studying, then you will not feel that urge to study properly, no? That is why I'm introducing this as a theory part first. Now, after I finish the theory part of RDA, I will definitely teach you how you could. There is a question. Basically, RDA is not minimal also, not maximum also. It is rather like a enough amount of a nutrient intake, which is very safe and adequate for people. It is not too low or it is not too high also. So it is not minimum, it is not max, it is not minimum also, it is not maximum also, but it is just a safe and optimum level, we can say. Right? Now coming to this RDA's whole setup. So we have already seen that RDA contains the nutrient amount, like for a particular nutrient, how much maximum, sorry, not maximum, how much is required in order to prevent some kind of a deficiency. Like if you take vitamin A, how much vitamin A is required so that a person does not develop night blindness? So how much vitamin D is required so that the person does not develop osteomalacia? Like that, you have to understand it. RDA is minimum amount, plus on top of that, we add a little bit of a safety margin. Why do we add the safety margin? We add the safety margin because people are different. Humans, even though we have all same genetic makeup, we don't behave the way, behave in a lot of different ways. We belong to different ethnicities. Like there's a lot of individual variations, right? When it comes to just in the skin color or even in your hair texture, there is so much of variation. Definitely like that. In nutrient needs also, there will be changes depending upon person to person. So to compensate for this individual variation in nutrient requirement, a small bit of safety margin is added. I'll give you a very simple example, okay? If you take RDA for a, let us say for a normal, like non-pregnant, non-lactating woman, it is 29 mg. This 29 mg, if you divide it into requirements plus safety margin, maybe it will be like 23 plus 6. 23 is the minimum amount to prevent deficiency, whereas the 6 is the safety margin which is added for to match the individual variations in the nutrient requirement. What kind of questions could be asked? They can ask you questions related to, they can be like RD is equal to dash, like that they can give you. And they will be like nutrients, minimum requirement plus safety margin, maximum requirement minus safety margin, minimum requirement plus maximum requirement. Like this, they can confuse you. It is very simple. RDA is equal to minimum requirements plus safety margin. So here to the minimal requirement, we are adding a safety margin. No, that is why RDA is not the minimum requirement itself. Because to the minimum requirement, we are adding a little bit of safety margin also. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. Done. Now, a few pointers related to RDA, which by themselves could be asked in your exam, and they actually have already come in your exam. Like if you take RDA, one-liners, for Indian population, who decides the RDA value, first time when was it released, like that. So this RDA value for Indian population, it is decided by Indian Council of Medical Research. Under Indian Council of Medical Research, there is a nutrition wing called as National Institute of Nutrition. National Institute of Nutrition. Okay, this is located in Hyderabad, right? So ICMR, under ICMR, there is this branch, there is, you can say the department, or you can call the nutrition wing of ICMR called as NIN. They only decide your RDA. First time RDA was released in the year 1944. Okay. Then in 2020, very recently, the RDAs were completely revised. Okay. After that also, a few changes here and there were done. And the RDA value that I have already shared with you people in your group, I have shared a PDF in your group with related to RDA. So I'll share that once again also today. In that, I have added the screenshot of the most recent RDA, which is taken from the NIN's publication page. Okay, so that only you have to memorize. You don't have to do 2010 or the old RDA, nothing. You have to focus only on the 2020 RDA. Okay, now I have already given that to you. In case if you have not received it, just let me know. I will reshare it in your group. Okay, now coming to the reference Indian man. This has already come in your exam. Okay, they will ask you, a reference Indian man is how many years old, or what is the weight, or what is the height, like that they can ask you. So for a reference Indian man, the age is typically between 19 to 39 years, and he should weigh around 65 kgs, and he is around 173 centimeters tall. Okay, 1.73 meters he is tall. And then if you calculate the BMI, I think all of you know how to calculate. It's very simple. It is just a composite variable wherein you divide this height and weight. Okay. Now let us see BMI in somewhere place also, because in your nutrition assessment topic under your unit number 2, over there we have nutrition assessment as a whole separate unit itself. Under that we have a topic called as anthropometry. Over there in anthropometry we will be studying this BMI. Okay, so basically we will put weight on the numerator divided by the height of the person in meters the whole square. That is how we calculate our BMI. But that thing we'll see separately. Last actually a question was asked related to BMI, which I will discuss in the upcoming classes. Now coming to the reference Indian women. She's around 19 to 39 years old. Same thing, age is same only. But she's 55 kgs, but men is 65 kg, whereas height is 161 centimeters tall. If you divide the values, you can get BMI. Okay, very simple. These questions have already been asked in your exam, so you have to be careful. Okay, now another important thing. why do you even study RDA? Why should you study RDA? Why people have done so much of work to decide a few numbers? RDA is useful in a lot of ways. Like first thing, it is functioning like a reference point, right? Like if you consume this much amount of iron in a day, you will not get anemia. If you consume this much amount of calcium in a day, the chances of osteoporosis will be less. Like this, it is helping to fix some reference point here, right? So because of that, RDA is very important. It is important for clinical management of a few diseases. It can be used for designing diets for patients. It can be used for nutrition intervention programs, etc., etc. It can also be used for nutrition education programs. Example, if you know the midday meal scheme, no, either during daytime, during the lunchtime, free food is provided to children in government and government-aided schools. For that program also, this RDA will be useful. For new product development, for FSSAI labeling guidelines, for all of these things, RDA is very useful. I'm once again saying RDA related, you will get mostly number-based questions. They will ask you, what is the iron requirement or what is the folic acid requirement of a pregnant woman or for a lactating woman or a 15-year-old girl or a 6-month-old infant. Like that only they will give you values, okay, when it comes to RDAs. Now, in RDA, I'm saying once again, if you're someone who belonging to a different, say, major, like you don't belong to nutrition, you belong to textiles or resource management or human development. If you belong to cases like this, if you belong to, majors like this, then before you start to study RDA, before you begin studying RDAs, you have to have a glance of the RDA document a bit. Okay, so what and all you have to study is that RDA, it is not the same for everybody. For different age groups, it is different. Like for a 6-month-old, it is infant. For an infant, it is different. For a 16-year-old girl, it is different. For a guy, it is different. For a woman, it is different. So there are different age categories and there are different genders, like male and female differences there. Another very important thing is the physical activity category. Like people they can be sedentary in nature, they can be moderate workers, they can be heavy workers. Like that, there are different categories, no, when it comes to the people of physical activity. So depending on that also, this RDA is divided into 3 categories: for a sedentary person, for a moderately active person, and for a heavy worker person. Okay, so this segregation also is there. And the unit in which RDA is measured, this is also very important. If you take nutrients like carbohydrates or nutrients like say protein, they are measured in grams, whereas the energy requirements, it is measured in kilocalories. If you see a few other nutrients like vitamin A or vitamin B12, they are measured in micrograms. Like we put the symbol mu and then G after that. Now they are measured in micrograms. Whereas if you take iron, it is measured in milligrams. Vitamin D, it is measured in international units. So not just studying the number, you have to study the unit which is used for measuring that particular nutrient also. Because the carbohydrate requirement, if it is 180 grams, and by mistake, if you put 180 milligrams, see how much difference it will make in the diet of the patient, right? It will be actually the patient might even die if you do something like that. So you have to be very careful while you put the numbers, and of course the units which you use to say that numbers. Okay, so first thing is that it is different for different age category, different for different genders, for different physical activity category, and the unit in which the RDA is measured. And also there is this plus symbol which is given in a few places. Like if you take a sedentary female, okay, sedentary female who is not pregnant, who is not lactating, for her, if the nutrient requirement is around 9,900 kilocalorie, if she becomes pregnant, there should be addition of a certain amount of nutrient. Typically 300 to 350 kilocalories will be added. Then during lactation also a certain amount of calories needs to be taken extra. So what do? Is they don't give the exact value over there, but they just give plus 500, plus 600, like that they will give you. So what you have to do, if they ask you what is the nutrient requirement, what is the energy requirement for a sedentary pregnant woman, if they ask you, you have to know the energy requirements of a sedentary woman plus what is the addition of calories for pregnancy time. If you know that, you can add both of that and you can give the correct answer. So you have to know how to use this plus symbol also when it comes to RDA table. Okay, is it clear whatever I have told till now? Is this clear? I hope it's clear. Okay, now coming to the most important thing. In the beginning itself, I have already told you that the RDA related, you will get number-based questions. Like what is the calcium RDA, what is the iron RDA, vitamin A RDA for a particular age group. Like that only they will ask you question. So you will have to memorize a lot of values. If this is the first time you are listening about RDA, there is no need to panic at all. Okay, even though there are so many numbers, we have a lot of time in our hand. So every week, if you study just one nutrient also, just one nutrient if you study every week, by the time we go to write our exam, you will be so thorough in the whole RDA table that you will not forget it for your whole life. Actually, when I studied, when I gave my exam, we had to memorize 2010 RDAs. Okay, in 2020 only this RDA was released. No, so for my exam, I memorized the 2010 RDA, and now also it has been close to 3.5 years. But now also, if you ask me, if I just have a glance of the RDA table, I can answer the questions. The reason is that if you study slowly, when it comes to RDA, you have to be very slow in studying. It is not like theory part. You have to give time to your brain to grasp the whole concept of RDA, since it is going to be mostly memorizing. Okay, so maximum you can do 2 nutrients in a day, not more than that. Like in your like the last few days back, I gave you 2 tests related to RDA, right? First day I gave you iron and folic acid. Second day I gave you vitamin A and vitamin C. Now these 4 are very important nutrients, and questions have already come related to these nutrients. Okay, and I was very happy. I think most of you girls got more than 7 in the test. All of you who attended the test, you got more than 7, and that's a very good thing. The first try itself, if you are able to get more than 7, it's like really good. Okay, so now if you have already followed what I have told you, you should have finished iron, folic acid, vitamin A and vitamin C. These are very important. These have already been asked in your exam. Now, while studying that, if you had faced difficulty of how to memorize, okay, what you have to do is you have to build up some kind of a story. Okay, you have to build up some kind of a very random kind of a story, which will make you remember what we are studying exactly. It can be a funny story also. Definitely, I'll be giving you classes related to memory tricks of RDA, so you don't have to worry. But now, by yourself, if you are able to study once, when I teach you, when I teach you in live class, when I are maybe I can come live another time. So that time, if you have already studied, the story that I build up will be useful for you in terms of revision. Okay, that is why I did not give you the tricks before the test. Okay, now study only 1 or 2 nutrients in a day, max to max 1 or 2 nutrients in a day. And if it is really difficult, study only 1 nutrient per week also, no issue. Because the questions that we have posted in our app related to RDA, it is going to stay in your app only. You can use it till next another 1 year you can use. So you can do it slowly, but you have to do at least 1 nutrient per week. But my advice would be to, whenever I give you a break, usually I give you a break and I ask you to study RDA. So whenever I give you a break and ask you to study RDA, just follow that routine. It will be easy for you to understand. Okay, and also to remember. Okay, 1 nutrient at a time. Always remember the numbers using some made up story. Okay, and also whenever you're free, okay, whenever you're free, maybe you're just laying in your bed or thinking about something, just free, just randomly question yourself. What is the RDA for a 12-year-old girl? What is the RDA for an 8-year-old boy? What is the RDA for a pregnant woman of iron, particular nutrient? You have to question yourself. When you question yourself, it is not like you have to shout to yourself. Just think of it in your brain. Like if they ask question like that, what will be the correct answer? Like that, you have to prepare yourself. If you prepare yourself for RDA like that, nobody can stop you from getting that 2 marks. Okay, maybe it will look like just for 2 marks, why do I have to do so much of effort like that? You might feel. But the thing is, even 2 marks will play a crucial role when you're actually trying for JRF. Just 2 marks, like if you have scored 208 and the marks which is required for your category is 2010, think how much the 2 marks will be important for you, right? That will be like life changing, right? If you had gotten the 2 extra marks, You would have gotten a JRF. If you would have gotten a JRF, you can do your PhD without any kind of a financial trouble. You can even support your family if it comes. So it is just a matter of 2 marks over there also. So the 2 marks, it can carry a lot of power. So that too, in the initial phase, when we have quite a lot of time to study, it is better to start with topics like RDA, which are short topics. Like every year, minimum 1 question will come from RDA topic. Okay. So do not skip this topic under any circumstance. If it is difficult also, no issue. Just study 1 nutrient per week. Simple. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share another screen wherein I'll show you the tabular column, like the RDA, recent RDA's tabular column. I'm not going to teach any RDA today, RDA like tricks or anything. I'm not going to teach you today. I'm just going to show you the table, and whatever I discuss now, like the different age category and this different genders and for different categories of people, it is varying, right? So those things alone I will show you today. And for students who have already started studying, after this class ends, just 1 nutrient, vitamin D, you have to study. Okay, this vitamin D, I forgot to tell you one more thing also. In your weekly test, which is coming up on Sunday, you will have questions from RDA also. You will have RDA questions related to 5 topics: RDA of iron, folic acid, vitamin A, vitamin C, and vitamin D. Vitamin D, it is actually very simple. Only 2 values you have to remember. So you will thank me even if I give you 5 nutrients. I don't think it will be much big of a burden for you. Other than that, whatever is taught during this particular week. So basically, mostly nutrition related questions only will be there from this 1 week. Okay. Maybe 1 or 2 questions related to your last year PYQs might come. December 2023 food service management PYQs might come. But mostly you will get questions related to nutrition only. Okay. So just give me a minute. I'll share the other screen where I have the RDA's slides. Right. So this is the RDA table of RDA 2020. Okay. So the nutrients, as I told you, it is divided. See, like sedentary separately is there, moderate is separate, heavy is separate, and then pregnant women, lactation is separate, different physiological categories. And then for infants 0 to 6 months, 6 to 12 months separately it is given. For children, 3 categories are there. Then for boys, girls, it's alternative and it is given. And see the values here, the units which are used. Protein is measured in gram per kilogram. Dietary fiber in grams, this calcium in mg, then magnesium in mg, iron in mg, whereas nutrients like your vitamin B12 in micrograms, vitamin D is measured in IU. What is IU? IU is international units. Like this whole table we have to study, we have to memorize it, but it is not a big deal if you study just 1 nutrient per day. Don't study more than that if it is really difficult for you. Just study 1 nutrient per day and finish that nutrient and question yourself constantly. Like if like what is iron requirement of a pregnant woman? What is the folic acid requirement of a lactating woman? What is the iron requirement of an adolescent girl? Like that you have to question yourself. You have to keep on questioning yourself. Clarity. If you remember everything in the same order, it is like 19, 29, 27, 23, 19, 29, 27, 23, like that if you remember, you will forget, definitely. So you have to study for each category. And you have to keep some kind of a random story so that you don't forget that. And that random story also, 1 by 1, I'll be putting up videos for you so that you can use my story to remember these values. But initially, I will not do that because I want you to put a bit of effort from your side so that you can make up your own story. If it's not happening, completely fine. I am there. I will save you from all that trouble. Okay. So any doubts in today's class? Today's class is a very simple class. I wanted to introduce the basics of RDA and just wanted to show you the table once before you deep dive into RDA. After today's class, you just have to study vitamin D RDA, just vitamin D ka RDA. Only 2 values, 400, 600. Only 2 values are there actually in vitamin D. If you have any doubts, you can let me know. Okay. I hope it's clear. All right. So all the very best. Okay. Study well. And you have your test on Sunday. So come back, properly study and come back for your test. And RDS is a part of your test. 5 different nutrients I have told. I will add the instruction in your group also. Okay. All the best. Study well. We'll meet in the next class.